Monster Hunter. It started on PS2 about 12 years ago and it's played by millions of people in Japan. But here, it's still seen very much as a niche cult game.
Well, I think that mainstream acceptance is coming, just ever so slowly. But maybe Generations will be the one that'll finally go large.
Perhaps. At its core, this is still the same Monster Hunter gameplay loop. Equip the best gear you can, venture out into a gorgeous, unspoilt fantasy wilderness, track, pursue, and slay fantastical beasts, harvest their body parts to craft better armor and weapons, then do it all again. But this is no walk in the park, is it, Hex?
No, and from gamers who've tried it, you hear the same two stories. Either I tried it for a few hours and got frustrated and gave up, or I was frustrated for a few hours and then it all kind of clicked and I couldn't stop playing.
Yeah, absolutely. You really need to work on your muscle memory to excel in this game. There's a lot of esoteric metagaming and also gear optimization to get lost in. But like veterans of Dark Souls, veteran monster hunters take justifiable pride in their hard-earned skills.
The new installment is called Generations because it's a celebration of the game's history, a real love letter to the fans. You get to revisit 3 of the iconic villages from previous games: Kokoda Village from the original Monster Hunter on PS2, Poke Village from Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, and Yukomo Village from Monster Hunter Portable 3rd, which was never released in Australia. Plus, its menagerie of 71 different monsters includes many fan favourites, and you can be a cat.
I'm a cat. I'm a kitty cat.
And you dance, 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 and you dance, dance, dance.
Generations introduces Prowler mode, where you can bench your human hunter and quest as a cat. The dream, Hex!
I mean, it's a bit of a gimmick, but I was impressed by how it makes the whole game feel quite fresh. The control scheme is much simpler, so it's much more forgiving for new players. Prowlers don't need pickaxes or bug nets to harvest resources, so they're perfect for gathering quests.
Gathering in general is much faster, and now you can hold down A to gather continuously. Only took them 12 years to think of that.
Well, better late than never. But back to the cats. Prowlers are viable for combat too, and they offer a really different perspective. Because the felines are so tiny, the monsters loom all the larger. Meow, meow.
It's hard not to want to play the whole game just as a cat, Hex. Another big change is the introduction of 4 distinct hunting styles. These alter the moveset of your weapon and let you charge up power bars to unleash flamboyant special moves. Guild style keeps the classic Monster Hunter movesets. Striker style makes heavier use of the new arts and lets you charge them up faster. Aerial style emphasizes leaping attacks. And finally, Adept style is all about putting yourself in dangerous situations and pulling off spectacular attacks at the last possible moment.
So while there are the same 14 weapon classes from Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, there are essentially now 56 different ways to play. No, 57 if you include cat mode.
Yeah, there's more customization than ever before, and for Monster Hunter, that's really saying something.
Yeah, I was really impressed with how much content they've crammed in there. Monster Hunter games usually have one flagship boss monster, but Generations has 4. And there are now new deviant monsters to hunt. Grizzled survivors who have weathered prior attempts to slay them and who offer a meatier challenge.
Overall, there's been subtle rebalancing to the game's mechanics, loads of incremental tweaks and upgrades, but this should be easier to learn by now. This game should be easier for newcomers, and it's absolutely not.
Yeah, that's true. Crafting, combining, cat management. The game mechanics on the whole are very dense, almost impenetrable. There's in-game help and training quests, but for the most part you feel like you have no choice but to check online guides to help you get through this experience.
Yeah, even things like no health bars on monsters. I imagine that's pretty off-putting for new players. Why won't you die? The randomized quest rewards are a real troll too. You never seem to get what you really want.
Well, there is even an urban legend behind that, where people believe the game is purposely programmed to lessen the chance of giving you what you actually want just to keep you playing. It's called the desire sensor.
Which the developers have denied, but still. Now, as far as the graphics go on 3DS, I was surprised at how good this game looks at times.
Yeah, it's fine for 3DS, I guess, but after playing Dragon's Dogma, I can't help but wonder how good a Monster Hunter would look on current-gen console.
Yeah, I want that. Also another Dragon's Dogma. But I guess ultimately the core appeal to this game is the real sense of mastery you get from overcoming fearsome boss monsters, then slaying those monsters in shorter and shorter times.
It's also quite a funny game, isn't it? You get your pre-quest buffs from a fondue fountain, you can pat sheep, and everyone you meet is eccentric. For want of a better word, this game is just comfy.
Yeah, rugging up and hunting away the rest of winter is definitely an option.
Monster Hunter isn't so much of a game as a hobby, and unlike Dark Souls, which I find a little bit grim, I think I just enjoy the fantasy world and Generations a lot more. If you're looking for a game to spend a casual 200 or 300 hours in, well, you found it. I'm giving it 4.
This isn't a game that you'll just burn through on a weekend. It'll take you days just to figure out what is going on. It requires dedication. I do think this is a great game, and I'm a fan of this series, but it is absolutely time for an entire overhaul of everything. So I'm gonna give it 3.5 stars.